All right, so I just took the intake off. Well, unbolted it because I needed to get this plumbed in. I forgot when I bolted this down that there was a fuel line under here that needed to go to my fuel pressure regulator here. So I got this unbolted and I can lift it off now. So it looks like I don't have to unhook anything. So I'm finna go put the fuel line on this, and I'm just gonna leave it long until I figure out exactly where I'm gonna mount the regulator. But this is what you have to do to get this line in place. The cutter should be around here somewhere. Let's see. Okay, get this cut. And I actually should have some extra fuel line hanging around here. I'm sure I do, but for now, let me see if I can get this on here. Really, I just need to thread this into place. And this is not always the easiest thing to do, but you can thread this by hand. But when it's frayed like this, sometimes it makes it really hard to get these ends on there. So this is me building my own fuel system. Oh, what do you know? Let's see. Okay, get this on there. Oh, it went. Oh, thankfully. Okay. So whenever you're doing this, you don't want to do this with like a wrench or anything. You just want this part on hand tight. Just make sure it doesn't come off. And then this screws down in there. This is the nipple that goes into the rubber part. So this is what actually makes the seal. So this threaded part, when I start screwing this in, it's screwing into here, and it's steady pulling this deeper and deeper into that holes like that. So that's what's going on. And that's why this doesn't necessarily have to be done with a wrench. Actually, you don't want to do it with a wrench because you can damage it. Now this part, you can make sure that it's nice and tight. I can actually feel that going in. It's expanding the holes. So the one thing about these ends here is that they are anodized and can scratch really, really easy. So I try to be as careful as I possibly can and doing this in a way where I don't try not to scar it up. But this will be under the intake, so even if I scar it up a little, it's not really gonna hurt anything because it won't really be seen. But I try not to scar it regardless. So get this threaded in nice and tight so it does not leak, because when your fuel lines are under high pressure, and you want to make damn sure when you start your car that you don't start spraying fuel everywhere. So you have to be really careful with making sure you don't cut no corners. So I don't know if y'all can see this, but just to see how I just barely kind of touched it. It's kind of scratched right there and all that, but that's part of the game. So now I got to get the right size wrench so I can get this tightened on there. Oh, that's too little. That's the one. So, jeez. once I get this tightened on there, then I can put the intake back. Kind of hate that I actually forgot to put this on there. And of course I'm not gonna need all of this, but I don't know how much length I need, so I just gotta put it on there and get the intake screwed back down, and then from there I can cut it to whatever length I need it, but that way I don't have to deal with the intake anymore. So I'll see y'all in a minute while I get this screwed back on there.